vending, enter your two-factor. Fucking hell.
Just don't be giving any passwords away. We're going live, but don't worry. Live always, it's an iteration. I got to go share it. I got to make sure it actually went up live. So you're good. You're good. Do you?
Where's my auth? Because I'm using my Mac Mini, so I'm not like logged into everything here. 562. I actually listen. I bought it before the rush for everyone buying Mac Minis. Just so you know, I wasn't like.
You're not that guy.
I'm not a sheep, man. No, I bought it like a while ago because I wanted to use it for music, and then it just ended up becoming like my work computer because it's like then everything went crazy with like the AI agents, and I was like, well, I guess that works.
Here we are.
I got to log in.
I was lucky enough that my boy Rob had a spare MacBook laying around with enough power in it to be my like agentic laptop. So that was like super stoked.
That's the way to go. Are we live? Because I need to log in so that I can stream off my X.
Do you need to like leave and return?
Yeah, I'll be like 2 seconds.
Yeah. Get out of here.
Give me 2 seconds.
Get out of here.
Sorry.
You're all good.
Let me see it.
T, how you doing?
This is happy hour. This is how we roll.
Yeah, Todd's like in his car in the city, dude. I love it.
I'm not driving. This is my mobile office. I'd like for this to be very clear.
It would be the best if he's pouring a cocktail.
Yeah,
he gets like a ticket for drinking in public.
I literally was like, I'm like, oh, like I could just pour myself something. I've got like, whiskey and I was like, probably best not to, just even though I'm not driving, sitting in the driver's seat of a car, just not the best idea.
You just got to get into the back.
Yeah,
the back seat or the backpack.
Well, that's what we have to do. I told you, is mobile office. I mean, when it's not hot as hell out, I'm definitely going to start doing that. Is just like filming out of the truck bed.
I think it's amazing. I think it's an amazing idea. All right, I've thought, and it's going to be hard to do because it's on me to procure that many bottles. But as a tradition for a happy hour, and I have myself a happy hour drink at the end of the week, I'm going to have a bottle, and I'm going to say what it is, and I'm going to know how familiar you are with it.
Oh, I like this.
And I also have a follow-up question because I've started to see it more and more, and I never really thought much of it. So today, Todd, I'm having a Tomatin Cask-strength bourbon and sherry. It's 57.5%.
Mm-hmm.
My dad actually gave it to me because he doesn't really like the super strong stuff. So this is it. Now, how familiar are you with it? And then tell us why cask strength is a thing. Because I was like, man, this is heavy, but there's some cultural reasoning behind it, isn't there?
Yeah, it's an interesting question. So again, and they'll have to forgive my pronunciation. I've always heard it as like I actually heard it two ways. It's like tomatin and then tomatin. So I've heard it both. But again, knowing the way that they say it, it's probably totally different. The actual correct. It's literally the tomato of whiskey distilleries.
Oh wow.
So yeah. So okay. Let's test my knowledge and see if I get this right. Speyside Distillery. So Highland Speyside.
Yeah. Correct.
Okay. Got it. Got that part right. I'm trying to think when they were founded. You know what? Honestly, this would be fun. I'm gonna memorize this stuff, and then you're gonna get to. We'll do quizzes, see if how well I retain it. I don't know when they were founded, but I know that they've been producing whiskey since. For a while, but I know they were definitely active in the 70s because I've seen some Tomatin bottles. We have some 70s. So at least they were active then. But I imagine all whiskey distilleries in Scotland, their lore goes back to the 1800s or something like that. Yeah, again, good, again, typical Speyside, the flavor profile and stuff, good whiskey. So cask strength is interesting because you ask a really interesting question as to whether or not there is a historical context. And the truth of the matter is, this is a great article. I'd love to get some research from Owen on, because I know of, so I can tell you the history of bottled in bond at 100 proof. And I can tell you a little bit of the history of 40 or 80 proof. But it's actually interesting is I don't actually know if cask strength, I know that it's in its current iteration is a more modern thing in the sense that for a very long time, almost all whiskey was blended and diluted and actually made to be consumed. They added the water for you. And so cask strength, it's not that it didn't exist in the past, it has, but that this like obsession with barrel proof and barrel strength and cask strength is a much more modern thing. Like people used to want to walk in, buy the whiskey that was ready for them to drink, and stuff that was too hot or too high alcohol percentage, people just didn't want, or like they had to add their own water, and they're like, well, why would I want to do this? Like, I'm buying this from you. You should do this for me. So it's definitely become increasingly more popular nowadays. But I'm gonna be totally honest, I don't actually know like the history of like if everything used to be cask strength and then got watered down afterwards. That's a fun one. I'm gonna do some digging into that.
God, I just thought of a fantastic product idea. Imagine like a little like stir stick or a temperature thing, but it's like a hydrometer or hygrometer, and you put it in your cocktail and it measures like the alcohol dilution over time. So the more water that melts, you're like, it was a 57. Oh, now it's a 53. Perfect. It's where I like it. Whole thing back.
That's honest. That's actually like a really good product idea. Not just like not just like oh, I have a good product idea. That one actually that's got legs.
Jeez, I've never thought about whiskey
this
in depth. You guys are obviously on it. I mean, that's your whole job, so it would make sense.
All right.
Yeah,
all right,
exactly.
all right. Now that it's sufficiently been 6 minutes into the stream and everybody's on stream, why don't I welcome us to the happy hour? Seb, T, welcome aboard. Happy hour episode 3. Whoa, episode. The cast strength's already taken its effect. Episode 3. We got Seb, a good homie of Todd and I, the CEO of Raposa.
No, COO.
Which is hilarious because I was like, I literally read it off of your thing, and I was going to make a comment of like, man, it's so good for him to write that there, and I wouldn't even have to look it up. But yeah,
Dirt's been in crypto for so long, he's become dyslexic.
Yes,
that happens to many of us.
Yes, so true, so true. Seb, how you doing, buddy?
Not bad. Very, very happy to be here with you two. Yeah, just stoked. Honestly, it's been a pretty awesome year so far. I can't believe we're already like in August, basically. I don't know where the time is going, but it just gets faster, doesn't it? But yeah, couldn't be doing better, honestly. And you guys?
Very good. T, how are you?
Doing well. It's honestly, it was more that like Seb just said, it's like almost August and the end of the year, and like that's me into mild panic mode. But other than that, it's great.
Seb, why don't you tell the people about Raposa? Because we in BAXUS, we love the NFT, we love the consumable, the collectible, the drinkable, and Raposa is most of those things. And I followed you guys around for a while. I've sipped some of your stuff at events. Now I'm seeing you're at baseball games. What the hell's going on?
Honestly, dude, I don't even know myself. All right. I only joined the team like, I don't know, not even 3 months ago. Was it 3 months ago? So I've been catching up just as all of you have. They've been absolutely crushing it over the last 3 years. And now, that crushing has, come to fruition with all of these partnerships and all of these cool things that are happening, right? So for those that don't know, Raposa is, and thank you for the slideshow, is a specialty nitro cold brew coffee.
I can
you guys not hear me?
Oh,
I got him.
So weird. I can't hear him. That's weird.
Okay, Seb, you speak slow, and I'll reiterate.
No, it's fine. Let Seb keep talking, and I'll just read his lips. I'll just go from the sign in. I'll figure it out. I'll intuit it.
What is happening, StreamYard? So yeah, essentially, Raposa is a. Actually, I think I know it. No, my mic is connected. I thought that was my webcam connecting. Is a specialty nitro cold brew and coffee and tea company, right? So we do both, right? We have nitro cold brew coffees. We also have nitro iced teas. I think, as far as I know, we're like the only people really doing nitro iced teas in the US, and they are amazing. So as you can see here, we've got a couple of different products there. We got the classic, which is just a normal dark roast. We've got the caramel latte, nice little bit of sweetness there. We've got the bold, which is our stronger, black coffee, slightly sweetened. We've got the flat white, one of my personal favorites. We got the cafe latte, and then the hibiscus iced tea, which is phenomenal, and the peach iced tea, which are great. Honestly, just the most amazing things on a nice summer day. And then we've got the nitro cold brew tonic, which is a little bit more of a mixer, right? And essentially, Raposa started 3 years ago. Did an NFT raise right on Solana, really all around owned loyalty, and we've got an incredible community who we would not be here without. Those are the cups, and those are based off of our mascot Winston, which is this fox you see on the cans here. And yeah, basically that's Raposa in a nutshell, right? we're just really trying to prove that coffee in a can can actually taste incredible and actually also be good for you, right? There's so many of these different kind of canned coffee products. It's definitely a massively growing market, and we definitely provide a superior product. Our partnerships, as you mentioned, right, are huge. We are the official coffee partners of the Miami Heat, the basketball team, and the Miami Marlins, the baseball team in Miami, which is just honestly incredible. We got our coffee and matcha bar set up at the Miami Marlins Stadium. We've been breaking sales records in the location we're in. It's been pretty incredible. And we're starting our run at the Miami Heat in around September from when their season starts. On top of that, we also have been working with the X Games, which has been amazing. So we've been doing wholesale for the X Games. Yeah, custom cans in partnership with MoonPay. Shout out MoonPay, absolute legends. We wouldn't have been there without them. And yeah, I'll stop. I'll let you ask some questions. Hopefully, Todd can hear me now. That would be awesome if that was.
Todd,
fixed.
did you hear any of that?
No, literally nothing, which is so funny because you're like, I'm like watching your guys' faces get like lit up, like animated. I'm like, oh man, they're talking about such exciting stuff, and I'm just here.
Okay.
And but the good news is that by default now I never go back and like I rarely ever like listen to myself speak on like a podcast or watch an interview I do. Yeah. But now I'm going to have to because I want to hear what Seb actually said.
Hold up. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna boot both of you.
I wonder if it's the screen sharing. Can you try just for 1 second?
Yeah, both of us will join again.
That's when it kicked on.
Okay, here. Okay. Did it work now?
Seb, talk to me.
Hello.
No, I got
Okay, I'm gonna boot you. Remove.
Okay.
We'll do this one at a time. And he's back.
Todd, can you hear me? Todd, can you hear me?
I don't know why. I can't.
Okay,
I'm gonna.
Seb. I'm back. Doesn't make sense that I can hear both of you.
Okay, I'm gonna leave the stream entirely. I'm gonna leave the stream entirely and relog in.
No, you're good. I can hear you now.
Oh, let's go, dude.
Okay, now ready? Seb?
Oh, I am ready. Is it all working? We all there?
It's working. I can see.
Perfect. Now I'll do follow-up questions that'll get you back online, T. You'll understand everything based on the follow-up questions. Number one, commentary, not question. Branding is fire, dude.
Thank you, brother.
The cans, so good. I come on these things, and I don't typically feel sad to be Canadian, but in this moment, I feel a little sad because I can't flat white ship it to myself, So
well, you can.
I can.
It's just a little bit expensive for delivery, right there. But that's not within the US. Something we're obviously trying to improve on, but yeah.
Okay.
I'm about to go order actually a bunch of these afterwards because
I like that.
The only thing that is, I'll tell you honestly, the only thing that's sad is that I saw the hibiscus iced tea and it's caffeine free, and I am a caffeine maxi.
Yeah, so the hibiscus is sold out, and the peach, we're getting that back in stock again soon. I mean, they're so good, honestly. The peach has got 65 milligrams of caffeine, so it's got a bit of caffeine. It's a really nice afternoon pick me up. And regarding the design and the branding, right? So just a bit of history around that. So specifically, we have our in-house artist named Crayon, and he's been working with the team for years, right?
He's a good name for an artist.
I know, Crayon. Not his real name, not his legal name, but would be amazing if it was.
Nominative determinism. His parents were like, "You got one option for a job."
Yeah, exactly. You're gonna be Crayon. You're gonna draw, dude. That's what you're gonna do. And he's absolutely phenomenal. So all of the big branding you see really is Crayon or this design work. Then the cans is actually a different designer who's from our community. His name is Mac. So we kind of wanted there to be a separation between the NFT collection and the cans, just because of especially in those early days, there was a very big push towards like, you don't want to push this crypto element onto the more traditional market because there can be a little bit of like negative connotations there, right? Whatnot. But I think it's worked out beautifully, right? Also, it definitely helps a lot that Andrew or Sock himself, he comes from like a very kind of media driven background, right? Like his whole job is shooting content and video for restaurants and hotels and a lot of food and beverage stuff. So that also kind of ties into a bit of like the origin stories of how Raposa, came about and things like that. So yeah, there's a really nice creative angle within this team, and that's why everything just looks so good. And we don't talk about doing merch; we talk about doing apparel, because it's not merch. It's like we really want to have good quality, high quality kind of threads.
I like it. You don't buy merch; you're given merch, but you buy apparel.
Exactly. We don't give out free. You don't really give out. We haven't really given out like a lot of free Raposa stuff. It's normally sold merch at like the pop-ups or at Solana Spaces or whatever or whatnot.
Yeah. No, that makes perfect sense. And I have had the coffee before. It's very good. So that is, can vouch for the quality.
Thank you, sir.
Oh man.
But yeah. No, I'm excited I'll be honest. I've seen a lot of people on X like posting like they get their 4-packs, they get their cans delivered. So I definitely got I've got to place an order to ship to my house, because I am, like I said, a caffeine fiend, and so
you'll love it. Honestly, you'll love it. I mean, it's all made to European health standards as well. We actually
I'm out. I want.
You're like, no, I want the sugar. I want the.
No, I don't want sugar. I want hard metals in my water. I want.
Yes, of course, definitely. No, I agree. There's nothing more manly than hard metals in the
exactly
in the can.
It's like every can should be a risk. No, I'm kidding. That's actually really awesome, because again, I if I'm not mistaken, European health standards are more
way higher than America.
Yeah.
I mean, just an example, right? And correct me if I'm wrong. In America, you can buy the hot Cheetos that still has the almost banned red dye that's so bad for you, and you can buy the one that doesn't have it. The fact that you have that option is crazy to me, right? Like, it's, hey guys, this is really bad for you, but you can still buy it if you want.
So
and we have this other version that doesn't.
I don't know if I've ever bought Cheetos, so I don't know the answer to that specific question, but it sounds like something we would allow in America. Is like this is going to kill you, but I'll be damned if we don't give you the freedom to buy it anyways.
Exactly. I mean, for me, that was one of the most intimidating things when I moved here, because obviously being from South Africa, we are not spoiled for choice, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you go into a grocery store here, and it's like, I remember the first thing that really got me is like, I love M&Ms. Like M&Ms, like one of my favorite, treats. And I was just like, how do they have 12 different flavors? I'm like, how do I even choose? Like back home, it was like there was the normal one and the one with nuts. And I was like, well, I guess I'll go with the one with the nuts today. Yeah, I'm like, is it the cookie dough butter? Is it the Oreo? Is it the flippin', I don't know,
Well, I don't even know. They used to make them even just like the same M&M, but in like pastel colors. So it's like, do I want my bold original colors, or do I want my, pastel? Like it's, again, this is how, the Soviet Union fell apart. Was they came here and they saw our grocery stores, and they literally, like, Gorbachev, they couldn't imagine the amount of variety and opportunity that we had just walking through the aisle. This is how, the Soviet Union fell apart.
That's crazy. That's actually a good point.
Literally,
I mean, I think we've tried to kind of take it back to basics a little bit with, obviously we have quite a few different SKUs, right? There's like 8 different products. And we may remove and add stuff as we go along, right? Like
they couldn't imagine
we are discussing like a new flavor that we potentially are looking to do that would be kind of more in line with our sports partnerships. But all in all, really, like one of the biggest feedback points we get when people taste Raposa at these conferences and at these events is it tastes really clean, right? Which is obviously very telling to me that's like, obviously a good sign. And also at the same time, there's also been this like kind of stigma, I think for the more older generation, right? That like canned coffee tastes tinny, which is definitely something that has been very interesting. Like so much has been brought to light that I would never have even thought of, like now that I'm working at Raposa and, I'm very intimately kind of researching CPG brands and all these kinds of things and understanding the market. It really is. It's really cool. It's like, I'm sure Todd or Dirt with you when you started, specifically Dirt, when you started working at BAXUS, right? You probably go into a bottle store and you think very differently about how you look at whiskey now than you ever did before, right? You're like, there's these tells and these things you pick up, and it's really cool. And yeah, I'm just so uniquely like bullish on what we have as a company and where we are, right? Very different approach to building a CPG brand, right? NFT raise, then growing within the crypto market. And how we did that, right, was through conferences and events over the last 3 years, right? I think it's like 40 plus different conferences and events across the entire world, multiple different vending booths, right? Like we haven't paid to sponsor ourselves at anything. And these are companies paying us to run a coffee booth at their events and conferences, right? We make matchas, we make hot coffees, teas, whatever, and they buy our canned products wholesale to give out to free for consumers there. So what does that do for us, right? That gives us the ability to trial and test our product across multiple different regions, different palates and tastes, and Europe, France, the UK, Singapore, the US, South Africa, whatever. That's huge. What brand has that at the stage that we're in? No one, right? I think that's
such a good strategy. They pay you to be there.
They pay you to be there, and then they buy your product wholesale, right? So it's like, yeah, it's honestly super, super unique. And then you build up these connections through crypto, right? And to preface, you need to have a good product to do this in the first place. But connections with like Kraken, MoonPay, like these are some of our biggest repeat customers, right? Like thanks to MoonPay, we got in contact with X Games and we were able to get that opportunity. Kraken has helped us a lot as well. Also getting us to these incredible events, doing stuff for Coinbase, for Clanos, for all sorts of different companies. And just that level of distribution and then also connection has been insane, right? And again, the product is that good. So it all works. If our coffee tasted like shit, it wouldn't matter.
That. You know what? Well, I'm gonna abstain from speaking ill of other coffees, but I will say there is some multi-billion-dollar international brand that has somehow managed to crack you can sell bad coffee for obscene amounts of prices and have a store in every corner of New York City. But now
Canada too.
But now that you have that stranglehold, they can't. Do not dare speak ill of Tim Hortons.
It's not even Canadian owned anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh
I got a good story for Tim Hortons. Carry on.
But Seb, no, I was going to say that is a really good point, and that is really cool because exactly like my introduction to Raposa was being at Breakpoint and other conferences and accelerating to having it there and being able to drink it and being like, this is really good. And to your point, also like I'm in the speaker lounge for some of them and I pull out a can of coffee and I'm like, I need coffee, and it's like, first of all, I'm of the other opinion. There is nothing better than a can of coffee, in the sense of it gets cold. Right. Mm-hmm. It's not like it gets cold. And I love the nitro part. Like, cause when you can get that little, I'm all about that. Guinness is my beer of choice. And by beer of choice, I mean, like probably the only beer I drink. I'm a hard alcohol man, guys.
I can imagine. Dude.
Dirt does beer.
Yeah, exactly. But no, that's like, and so I do love that, like, again, like that whole mentality. And I'm literally, as soon as we're off this call, I'm going to place an order. Because I will also my wife. It's funny. My wife is actually you've sold me. That's it. I'm good. 22 minutes of your time well spent. And again, like my wife is a huge coffee. Like for me, when I got into coffee, it was like, I just went to Dunkin' Donuts and bought a large coffee, and they're great. Like iced coffee is, and that's the other thing. Iced coffee is my preference. I really like iced coffee, like black iced coffee.
Cool.
That's my go-to. So a nice nitro cold brew sounds, or even just a nitro black coffee sounds delightful.
I mean, this is.
Go ahead, Seb.
Oh, sorry. I was just to add on to that, right? Like, I think that's the super interesting part is that we are in like a really good, what's the word? Like transitionary period, right? Where like back home in South Africa, it's kind of similar to, I think, maybe what it's like in Australia or more European, is in the sense that there are lots of different coffee companies. There isn't one dominant one. Maybe our most dominant coffee company is like Vida Cafe, which is great, but still is like kind of a little bit artisanal and has a vibe to it. But we also have like Seattle Coffee Company. We got Deluxe Coffee. There's like Haas. There's quite a few of these, and they are like, it's incredible coffee, right? It's, you go there, you get a flat white. That's what you get, right? You get a flat white. That's like that to me. That is like the nexus, or I don't know if that's even the right word, of what a good cup of coffee should be like. No sugar, nothing added. It's just a flat white, and you take that and you go on your day. I see that happening in America more now. There's definitely more of these like boutique coffee shops coming up because people are getting over the stock standard, stuff that they're getting, right? It's companies, large corporations, large companies using cheap coffee to increase their margins, and then they're filling it with all sorts of crap to make it taste good, because in the end of the day, the person's just looking for that caffeine bump, really. And you fill it with sugar, obviously everyone's going to like it. But the younger generation's growing out of that. Also, they're drinking a lot less alcohol. Sorry for you guys, but
It's not true.
I mean,
the data's
I
you're
mean,
wrong.
Quality,
Like-
quality
like-
over quantity. Seb.
that's
No,
the-
no,
that's
but
the
no,
thing,
no,
right?
Seb, you're right.
You guys are
it's,
fine.
It's the perception. It's the perception.
It's the
of it. No, I
perception,
totally get it.
right? Like
100%.
I think like even though I'm not drinking a lot right now, I would happily sit with you guys and have like a little glass of like really high quality whiskey, right? Like I love whiskey. So it's one of those things, right, where I think we had a good intersection in the market. We also hit it from the angle of like we're doing the cans kind of first with the beans, the roasted beans. Like we have our own beans, which are really, really good.
I was going to say, do you sell beans? Because like we make,
We
usually
do.
my wife and I, what we do in the summer is we make like a big pitcher full of coffee at night, hot coffee, and then we stick it in our fridge. So the next morning we have cold coffee in the morning. So if you sell beans, I'm going to order some cans because as you know, I basically live out of this truck. And just so you have evidence, I was literally rifling through my whatever this is called, like not glove compartment, the
Center
the
console?
armrest thing. Yeah, center console. Thank you. And I like pulled out like a pocket flask of a 4-year sample. So I'm like, I've definitely spent a lot of time in this. This is definitely my truck. Yeah. So no, but that's good to know. So I'm gonna order the cans because I'm on the go. So it's like when I need to run out of the house and I want to grab something cold out of the fridge. But I will also buy the beans so that we can make some of our daily coffee beer Raposa.
You got to get one of those plug-in truck coolers. Then you can just have the Raposa in the little truck cooler ready to go.
I know, but then I'm going to spend so much more time in this truck. Like I need to get out into the real world, Dirt. If I make it too comfortable, I'll just never leave.
Luckily, it has enough windows, so you can like really feel like you're outside when you're not. Like the view in the background behind you looks beautiful.
It's true. The whole thing is glass. That is true.
All right, let's cut to the chase. When Raposa BAXUS? Martinis.
Jeez.
Yeah, so
I don't know.
I will say espresso martinis are very popular right now. That I've noticed.
So we are doing that at the Marlins Stadium, and we are also able to do that at the Heat Arena because we not only do we have a coffee, not only are we going to have a specialty coffee and matcha bar in the Heat Arena that looks amazing. We're getting it custom built, looks awesome. We also are going to be in both arenas in all of the bars. So it's not like we only have the coffee and matcha bar, right? Like we also have our canned coffees, right? So how they normally make these espresso martinis and things like that is they make like cold brew, right? And they put it in a thing and then they pour it on the go. Well, now you can just have the cans. It's with the nitro as well, which also foams it up. So it's like so that's a big part of the upsell as well.
So what you're saying is you're gonna need alcohol to make the espresso martinis.
Do you remember?
Dirt. I got some thoughts.
Okay, hit me.
Yeah.
No. We'll do it offline. We're not going to literally force Seb to sign.
It's special thoughts.
We're not going to force Seb to sign an agreement now on this call. I bet you're wondering why we've gathered you here today.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I got a good idea. Do you guys remember? Do you know those like yogurt and granola things? With this yogurt on the bottom
where you like
and
flip it on the top?
Imagine you got like a little nitro. You know those little baby cans of Coca-Cola, not the big dogs, the little ones? And then on top is like fresh beans. And in the middle is the alcohol. So you've got everything to make an espresso martini in a can with the beans on top, the alcohol in the middle, and the can on the bottom. It's like 2 espresso martinis on the go.
That sounds like an alcoholic dream.
I was going to say I'm a big fan of this idea. We'll figure out how to make that work. But yeah, this is just, I mean, in general, it's super cool. And again, like I will say the espresso martini is something that I actually, no, I think like the popularity is really, I like it because again, I'm both a big coffee drinker. And actually, Seb, to your point, what you were saying about all the sugar and the crap, when I first like came back to the US and like I met my now wife, and again, she was a big coffee drinker. I was like, oh yeah, I like coffee. And I would go and she would literally say, she's like, you're like, we'd go to Starbucks and she's like, you're not getting like, you just ordered a milkshake. I'm like, what do you mean? It's coffee.
Yeah,
it's like,
literally.
She's like, no, that's like, you've got 3.5 inches of whipped cream on there and caramel sauce and all this. I'm like, yeah, that's how I drink my coffee. And it's funny because I've gone from that now to basically almost exclusively drinking black coffee, except I will say the one time that I usually get milk in my coffee is specifically if I'm sitting. I almost always in Europe I do this just because I need them to know I'm American, and so I always order cappuccino. I always order cappuccinos in the afternoon because that's like a big no over there. Like that's your morning coffee, and like it's only espresso in the afternoon. And I'm like no, you're gonna froth that milk up after 3 p.m. and you're gonna give me a cappuccino right now while I'm sitting at your cafe.
No, in American.
Yeah.
What do you got for
must
the
be an
drip
American.
selection?
That's
Yeah,
amazing. I
exactly.
want to quickly show you. I want to quickly show you guys something just while we on the topic here. Oh no,
Please.
please don't tell me it's going to do this to me. So, tell me if you can see this
Hold
video.
up. I bet I can. I have to approve you.
Just because I feel like sometimes I forget to like do some like good visualization. So thanks to proof of coverage here. But just I just want to give you guys an idea of what the coffee and matcha bar looks like at the Marlins Stadium, right? So this is a video we did. We got some of the gang from Super Team there, like Amy and them are in here, and we did like a nice little day with them. So if you guys are ever in Miami, please, we'll go to Marlins games. When the Heat are playing, we can go watch some basketball games. It'll be vibes. But yeah, just so you can get a bit of an idea.
If you want to pick me up so you get ready for our after party after the game and to cheer on the Marlins, come on here to the Home Run Harbor. You're going to get some Raposa coffee. They have matchas, lattes, everything you're going to need to get yourself pumped up for the game.
Cheers. Everything you need.
Boom, baby.
That's awesome. And also, I gotta say, the fact that like cracking the can sounds almost identical to the ball hitting that is such a good audio clip of like can cracks, bat connects with ball. Like that's awesome. That's so cool.
No, it's so sick. Honestly, it's so crazy to me. Like I think especially the Heat one, because when I was younger, like my mom would come to America quite a bit for work. And she brought me back like a Miami Heat baseball cap when I was like 14 or 15. And I loved that cap, dude. Like I was like, oh, that's so sick. I mean, I didn't really know who they were. I was just like, I know it's a basketball team in the States. And I was like, that's so cool. And there's like photos of me as a teenager with it on, like sideways, when we were, the 2000s.
It's very cool. Very cool.
Fresh,
yeah, exactly.
Fresh Prince.
Exactly. Yeah. And then to think like, I don't know how many years later, and now we're like official partners with them. It's like, it almost doesn't feel real. I mean, until I actually I'm in Miami and I go to the stadium, it's just like the fact that can happen. I think maybe is a testament to just the craziness that is the like the crypto market and how it can help you, navigate life in the craziest nutty ways.
That's so cool. So what you're saying is Giannis signed with the Heat because he heard they had the best coffee in the NBA. That's what I'm hearing. That's what happened.
And you think in this, we did the same thing with, I don't know who's the other player. Is it Jordan or something? Someone else really big is apparently maybe coming over. So we did the same thing. We just send them coffee and they're like, that's it.
So are you breaking rumors that Michael Jordan is coming out of retirement to play for the Miami Heat? Because let me tell you, this is going to be the most viewed stream anywhere. If you just revealed that Michael Jordan is coming out of retirement to play for the Heat, I like it.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it on the Happy Hour Radio first.
That's it. And then if a certain other NBA player does make his way back to the Heat, I am expecting a special edition LeBron James, Raposa cocktail.
Dude. That is fire, dude. LeBron James.
Damn. You could do like a tote bag. LeBron.
Oh hell yeah, LeBean bag.
I love that.
We can make a bean bag.
Oh, come on, guys!
Bag.
This stuff sells itself. All right, he's got to sign with the Heat now. He's got to sign with the Heat. You got to just drop him some coffee and let him taste it, and then know, like, listen, you're not getting this anywhere else. You're not getting this in Cleveland.
Oh my god! You could have like a French brew, and it's like Le Bean. Be amazing.
Oh, I like it. That.
I like all this. This is so much fun. So what we were basically saying is, if you're looking for something good to drink, be it coffee or whiskey or any other sort of alcohol, you need to look for the man with the mustache. That seemingly is the answer at any crypto event. The man with the mustache is going to have the thing to drink.
Well, I think at the same time, this just shows the power of the mustache style. I don't know. I don't think I'd be where I am today if it wasn't for this on my lip. I'm not even joking.
I believe it. I'm in a very similar position. I mean, that's how Dirt and I originally connected and the outreach. And I was like, listen, a man with a mustache, that's like, it immediately is like, he's in mustache. Well, that's how this is a trusted person.
Isn't that how we all connected, Dirt? Or you weren't in mustache style previously or before? I know I met you in mustache style.
So hard to get into fucking mustache style. Henry,
Because you got too
'Cause
much
of this
going on,
thing?
dude. You got too much
Yeah,
going
yeah,
on.
yeah. No,
Oh,
I had
my
to,
God.
I literally, I had to, when I was applying and applying and applying, I had to like, for weeks, I basically, and my wife hated it. She's like, I had to shave my entire beard off. It was just that I'm like, I can't even have stubble. She's like, can you have
Yeah.
stubble? I'm like, no stubble. I got to get
Yeah.
into the Dow, man.
Yeah. That was Abu Dhabi. I was like, listen, babe, you're going to hate this. It makes me look 23 and a little chubby, but I'm cutting it.
But you got it. You don't understand the opportunities that having a mustache brings you in the crypto
The
space.
deal flow, dude. It's insane.
The deal flow.
The dude flow, more like it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Just a bunch of guys posting pictures of their moustaches every day because
Literally.
the AI bot tells them to. Yeah.
That's what we got to do. That's what we got to do.
Jesus.
That's awesome. This is so cool. Yeah, and I love this. And again, to your point, like it's really cool because like you said, like you weren't like a huge coffee person per se beforehand, but like when you get into something and then you learn. It's the same thing happened to me with whiskey. Is like everyone just thinks of it as like we take it for granted. You go into a liquor store, you buy a bottle of whiskey, you buy a bottle of tequila, whatever it is. You go into a coffee shop, you buy a bottle of coffee, or a can of coffee or a cup of coffee. But once you get into the back end of the industry, like what's going on behind the scenes, where is this like that's a whole different animal, and like you get to learn how, again, this giant global trade works that most people only think of it as a consumer product.
Yeah. And I mean, I went deep. Like I tried as many of the competitors as I could. I've done my like, I never do anything half-assed. Like if I do something, I'm going to do it right. And I'm going to make sure I know what I need to know. And I'm going to try what I need to try. And always been like a big fan of coffee in general, right? Like, I mean, I probably don't drink as much as I used to. I kind of have like a little bit of a balanced, I wouldn't say diet, but like, I've kind of feel like I made a post about it the other day where I feel like I've kind of got my regimen down, like a mixture of like caffeine and like, I don't know, it's kind of weird when you're trying to biohack yourself a little bit to the point of how do I have the most amount of energy throughout each day so I can get the most amount of work done. It sounds so lame and like, oh my gosh, like try hard, but I don't know, man. I think you guys would agree. And whenever you're doing anything startup wise, like you just have to, you can't afford not to have like good energy for most days. Otherwise you just don't get enough done.
Totally agree. And I will say, to your point, actually, one step back, that comment you had made earlier. And again, I always tell people, like, listen, if you're not drinking or whatever it is for your own like personal health reasons, by all means, like, you got to do what works for you. But even to that point, like when people think about like, oh, whiskey or whatever, it's not, and especially with a lot of the stuff that's on BAXUS and everything, it's not about like, oh, I'm buying something that I'm gonna like, chug or whatever. It's to your point, like when we get together, when we drink, it's literally that. It's pouring a small glass. It's trying something. It's really about like, again, it's not even like, because there's so much variety. There's so many different types of whiskey, so many different types of alcohol that it's like, you want to sit there with someone, and me in particular, I'm really big on this, is like, I really prefer to drink with at least one other person, because the idea is the conversation. It's the social element of it. And coffee is very much the same, at least certain parts of coffee culture have been. It's the cafe. It's sitting there. It's getting to talk to people. And I actually do think that is something very similar to like the ritual of sitting down for a drink, be it a glass of wine or a glass of whiskey or a cup of coffee, is really sitting there with other people and just, getting to talk, especially when you're doing something where it's like, you're, again, examining quality or differences, like different types of beans or like one time when I was traveling, I can't remember which, I think it was in France, but my wife and I went to like a coffee omakase where it was like, they literally brought them out different coffees from different regions and they like prepared them differently and you got to try them. And so to me, it was very much so like that same ritual of when I go to a whiskey tasting and it's like, I'm not here to chug a cup of coffee. I'm not here to chug a cup of like to chug down a glass of whiskey. I'm here to sit down and like really learn from someone who knows the differences and the nuances and can educate me on it. That's the fun part.
100%. Fully agree. This looks very tasty, by the way, whatever you put up on the screen here.
So yeah, Dirt, you wanna give him some details on this? Because Dirt found the perfect bottle for the Raposa stream giveaway.
Now, I absolutely could not take full credit for this. Finian found it after I requested, because I was like, listen, we got a special coffee dude coming on. How about you search through the tens of thousands of bottles and find a coffee one? And he delivered.
And he
delivered. So in the same way that he helped me, T, now you're going to help me. Why don't we explain this lovely bottle to Seb before we dish it off to one of the hunt winners? I'll handle that part.
Yeah. So, okay. So what's super, super cool about this in general is, so a lot of, I'm trying to think of how we, like, 1 second. Give me 1 second to like think about the best way to explain this. So no, the notes are cool also. This is for anyone who wants to read about it. Dirt, if you drop a link so people could just see the information about the bottle and everything else. But basically, a lot of whiskeys now, again, you're looking for something new. You're looking for some way that you're able to kind of, change it up where it's not just the pure whiskey flavor. And so cask finishing it's always been something that's there. It's usually been sherry is like the thing that everyone's most familiar with, like whiskey that was then aged in a sherry cask. But as people started to move further and further along, and they're like, we want to do something more interesting and more nuanced. So you look for other barrels. So there's like barrels that have been used to like barrel age honey. And so they'll use that then to like put the whiskey in there to mature. And so what's super cool about this one was after the, After the barrels itself that were then used for, that were used to mature the single malt from Westward, then were sent off to a brewery that used those same barrels that they used to mature their beer. They did a beer rested barrel within a coffee infused beer. And so there's a lot of like flavored. And so then they went, and if I'm not mistaken, they then went and then use those barrels to double finish. And so the whiskey was then put back into those barrels. So it actually gets some of that beer and coffee infusion that was like maturing in the wood, because it saturates the actual wood itself. It soaks in there, you get some of that flavor. And so this whiskey was actually then aged in a coffee barrel, like in a barrel that had held a coffee infused beer, where again, like if it had just been beans, I mean, there's definitely some flavor that would retain there, but there's actually, again, like there's the nuances and the notes then that you're going to get on this whiskey is going to be very, very different than something you're going to get that's like a, pure bourbon, regular bourbon barrel, finish, or something that's in a sherry finish. Like you're going to get different notes on this that comes exclusively from that like coffee maturation.
That's incredible. That's so crazy. So it's like, there's just these different barrels that they use for these different finishes. And is there a certain point at which the barrel becomes like unusable? I assume so.
Yeah. So that's a great question. So bourbon, by literally by law, by the definition of bourbon, can only go into initially a first time use barrel. Like it's called like virgin oak. It cannot have been used for anything else. It has to be charred. So they actually like set the insides on fire. If you ever see a really cool video of like what the cooperage is, which make the barrels look like giant like streams of fire, like firing the inside of these barrels to like char them, which again helps bring out a lot of like the sugars in the wood itself. And like that's a big part of the contribution to the color and the flavor. It's why bourbon, you'll notice, like relative to like Scotch and other things, will get much darker, much faster, as far as also the richness of the flavor. But historically, Scotch and other types of whiskeys don't, and even this one, for example, this is a single malt. It's an American single malt. And so it doesn't have the same rules of bourbon where it has to go into, new charred oak. It can go into a barrel that's been used for other things. So there's a lot of different style. Like there is a point, 100% to your point, that like barrels become effectively like just a container because there's nothing left in the wood to actually transport over. But there's a lot of different ways in which, brands and companies over time have figured out creative ways to be able to extend the life cycle. So you won't see this as much in the US, but in Scotland, sometimes you'll see something that says like second fill sherry or third fill sherry or refill. And that means that the barrel was already used once for whiskey. Like it had sherry in it originally, then a whiskey went into it, and now another whiskey is now going into it. So the color is going to be lighter. It's not going to get the exact same impact as the initial whiskey that went into the sherry cask. You also have something super cool though that's called like a dechar rechar, which means that they'll actually shave down the inside of the barrel and relight it on fire. So you're actually trying to get another layer underneath the initial oak to like try and draw that out. So there's a lot of different nuances over there. But again, to the point of only bourbon has that requirement in the US of it must be virgin oak, new like first use, single use barrels. When you're talking about American single malt, which is again, a newer category, much newer category, like we haven't historically produced that here, they get to be a lot more creative with how they do their finishes because again, they don't have the same restrictions over there. So that's where you're going to see, you will see finished bourbons. So those are bourbons that they aged initially in like, in a charred oak, freshly charred oak barrel, and then they're finished in another barrel, like they spent a couple of months in something else. But when you're talking, again, American single malt or even rye that don't necessarily have the same criteria and rules and regulations, you're going to see that they're able to get a lot more creative and have a lot more fun with kind of like those finishes.
That's super. I just turned this light on. I didn't actually realize that it's like whiskey colored. My back is the inside. I'm inside a barrel. But that's actually super. That's so sick. So it makes a lot of sense, right? So you put the whiskey in the cask, or in the barrel, right, then it's going to absorb most of that flavor. And then the second and third refill are going to have less absorption, but maybe that's actually preferred, right, for a specific type. Or that's so cool. I always had that in my mind, but I didn't really actually put two and two together to be like, oh, wow, now you actually have this unique market of different kinds of barrels, right? Or how these different barrels can affect flavoring and stuff like that. Like that's, I just think about, because a lot of people do wine, and where I'm from, the town that I'm from in Stellenbosch, like that's big wine country.
Mhm.
So, I mean, they don't really store wine in barrels as much. I don't know. Actually, do they? Like, I
So
think
it depends.
so. I swear
A
I
lot of
saw
wine,
that quite
yeah.
often.
No, of course, a lot of wine. Again, it depends. A lot of wine, like there's different processes for wine, but almost all wine, or not every type, but like especially reds and stuff, do spend some time in oak. It's how long they spend is different. Whether the winery will then reuse those barrels a couple of times, but again, it's kind of this like people do. Again, when we're talking about the back end of the industry, people don't realize like how this like the logistics on the back end works. Like so many American distilleries, after they use their barrels once for bourbon, those barrels then get sometimes shipped as full barrels, oftentimes broken back down into staves and then shipped across to Scotland, where they then age a lot of their whiskey in ex-bourbon barrels. And so to your point, something that has become increasingly popular, especially because South Africa has its own distilleries, there are places now, is so different countries also is so they'll instead of going and saying like, okay, we're gonna try and source sherry, from Spain, and we're gonna try and they'll actually go and say, hey, we're gonna get some local wineries and get some of their old, Cabernet barrels or stuff that they've aged different like red wines in, and we're gonna do a Cabernet finish, or we're gonna do something else. And especially because again, they have that ability to do it like working local distillery with local winery, like that is a very cool thing that is again increasingly becoming more popular.
So cool.
Wild. That's the tomatine.
Yep.
Is bourbon and sherry casks. So I imagine.
What I'd imagine, that's not a single barrel, right? I imagine it's not. Is it a single barrel, or is it? If it doesn't say it, then it isn't. And so what that typically means is either it's a double maturation, so they aged it first in bourbon and then they transferred it to sherry. But more likely, what it is, because it's still a single malt, is that it's a blend of different single malt whiskeys from the Tomatin distillery, some of which were aged in bourbon barrels, some of which were aged in sherry. Well, again. And actually, Seb, you made a really good point about this when you said barrel versus cask. So cask is actually the correct generic term. And the reason why is because barrel is actually technically a size of cask. There's actually actually a barrel is a specific size.
Okay.
And so I'll use barrel, you'll hear hogshead, sherry, but like there's all these different sizes. So the correct, if you want to be super generic, is cask. And so exactly that. So it will be, you'll have stuff that is then aged in a different size cask, or in this case, it was bourbon barrel aged Tomatin blended with sherry cask aged Tomatin, like blended into one, and then, bottled and ended up on Dirt's desk over there.
Barrels just like the general sizing. Like it's like you get a large pizza generally, and that's the thing.
So the barrel is I believe it's a 200 liter, I think is the barrel size. Like hogsheads are like, let's say I think maybe 220 or 250. There's so many different names. Like that's a fun one, Dirt. We should do a graphic one time of like the different types of barrel sizes. You've got like firkins and pinheads and like all these tiny little barrels all the way up to Gordas, which are like massive barrels that or casks that can hold, like 3 or 4 times the amount that a barrel can. So that's just a fun one that popped up over there, is like, when you deal in Scotland, they always almost refer to it as casks, because you don't necessarily because it could be a specific size. Like, is it a hogshead? Is it and then in bourbon, almost exclusively people refer to bourbon barrels, because America, like we use the barrel size over here.
That's cool. Is it a hogshead because it's like the size of a hogshead? Is it like a little baby?
No, I think it has to do with, and again, don't like whatever, but everything, the way that barrels originally started getting used for this anyways, was it wasn't that like your alcohol was really aged in wood. It had to do with how it was being transported. And so when they would transport things on ships across the ocean, like literally your gunpowder went into barrels, your hogsheads or your rations went into barrels, your alcohol went into barrels. And so, or casks proper is the problem. So hogshead, again, I imagine it probably had to do with something to do with like literal pork shipping or something. I don't know for certain. It's a good question. We should look that one up. That's a good fun fact. But yeah, that just became and it could be the size or the shape or something that, I'm not sure the specifics of how they came to that one. At some point in my life I knew, but again, I've forgotten so much of the information I have just by, taking in all the new stuff.
Aging.
It's the aging.
Unless you're my grandmother.
Not enough coffee today.
Yeah, exactly. You need those nitro coffee cans. You need the Raposa.
So real.
Well, right, so shall we find out who's going to win? Yeah,
I think we shall. So Seb, in this new tradition, I'm going to get you to count down from any number of your choosing when I say so, because I haven't given the disclaimer yet. And then we're going to award this beautiful bottle of Westward Strong Ale with Coffee Cask Finish to one of our leaderboard hunters. Now, if you're new to the stream or you're new to our product, we recently relaunched the BAXUS app on iOS, Android, and of course Seeker. And all you got to do is download the app, go into your liquor store and hunt. And what that means is you scan the barcode of the bottles, and you got to find out if the bottle you're buying is overpriced, underpriced, or at market, and you earn points in the leaderboard for it. Every time you scan a bottle, you get onto our sweet leaderboard, and you get a chance to earn a kick-ass bottle every happy hour radio with our sweet random number generator that you're staring at on the screen. So this week was good. We had the top 3 contenders, all with over 90 submissions, then a 60 and a 50. So it's a pretty tight race. We got them all pumped in. There's 658 entries. Seb, when you're ready, you count down, you say go, I hit it, somebody wins.
Okay, so I can just count down from 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Spin it.
All right.
Hey!
Duncan Kimbrough.
Hell
Very
yeah.
well done, sir. So I will screenshot that. Not that it really matters because it's screened up. And we will send out a notification and airdrop that bottle to Duncan Kimbrough, courtesy of Huntin.
What
There we
a
go.
legend.
What a
Well,
legend.
I wanted to try and do something. I just made a profile quickly. Let me get the vending. Let me get to the vending.
I remove myself.
Let me see. I want to pull a bottle.
Oh, I love it.
Legend.
Let's
Whatever
go.
I get, I'll keep. Regardless, I'll just keep it.
Perfect.
It's,
You'll make yourself a nice little espresso cocktail with it.
oh hell yeah! I'm actually abstaining from the alcohol at the moment, but I might make an exception.
I was going to say, you don't even have to do it for yourself. Pour it for others. Listen, like
Yeah,
I said, I'm
that's
not going
true.
to. If you're abstaining,
That's
by all means, you don't force yourself to drink. But it's always a nice thing to be able to offer others.
That's the thing, though. It depends on how good it is.
That's
If it's
that's a good call. That's a good call. So
If it's a bowler,
that's it. So
Okay, let's see.
vending.baxus.co for the BAXUS vending machine.
all right, I'm in. Let me just quickly swap some in
shout.
here that I don't need. USDC, right? I can do USDC.
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay, so it's like $50. Let's see. Okay, that should be enough. All right, give me 2 secs. I think I got the USDC. Yes, it is in my wallet. All right, I'm connected. Let me quickly pull up my screen here. I'm excited. Dude, these vending machines are power, dude.
Hold
I got
up.
cards. I got whiskeys. Got all the good stuff. Okay, we should do a $55 spin. All right.
Perfect.
Okay, so this is what I can get, guys. Glen Grant. These look beautiful. The purple is unreal. Beautiful bottle. Dude, if I pull one of these legendaries, that's sick. I want this. That's cool. That's pretty cool. All right. All right, let's see what happens.
I got to get better at these live streams with like queuing sweet music.
What did I pull?
What did you pull? Wait, what?
Is
Where'd it
my
No,
thing
no,
might be a little bit slow.
It just takes a minute.
Do I refresh?
No, don't think so.
No. That's so weird. I mean, you can refresh and it'll go into your account and like we'll be able to decide afterwards. But
Oh, there it is.
There we go. Oh, great poll.
Ooh.
Eagle Rare.
Eagle Rare 10-year. Market value, $62. Hey. All right. That's more than I paid. So that's a win. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to ship it.
There you go. And that is
Thank you, guys.
you should know that happens to be that is a highly regarded, very, very, very delicious bourbon. So again, save a little bit for yourself for when you stop abstaining, when you come back, but 100% good bottle to share with friends, good thing to introduce people to. It's a bottle that a whiskey drinker will recognize and will appreciate, and a non-whiskey drinker, it's a great treat to get their foray in.
That's so sick. I just want to also just say congrats to you guys. It's just that the fact that you built this is so dope. I think it's such a cool, like RWA use case. It's just, yeah, I mean, so dope. I would love, and I know I've mentioned to you this before, but I would love one day to see wine on here as well. I think that'd be sick.
So I will say there is a wine gotcha that is in the works. There is wine that is on the BAXUS platform now, but again, because BAXUS, the way that it works is the peer-to-peer, it's really what people send in to us. So it's not like, oh, great, we're just gonna have the same consistent products over there like your typical liquor store. It's really what comes in. And so you'll have some crazy bottles, you'll have stuff we've had some really old wines that have come in. We've had some like newer, more modern wines. So there's definitely a lot of that. But like I said, a little disclosure, you heard it here first, but there is a wine vending machine that is coming for those that, that is their beverage of choice.
I'm a big wine guy. I love me a good Pinotage, because Pinotage is a South African type of wine, right? Just like Argentina has Malbec, but the Kanonkop Cadet. Woo! Pinotage is fantastic. Well, it's kind of a mix, but just the Kanonkop in general. I think the Cab Sav is also really nice. But yeah, I'm a big red wine guy. I also like Malbec. I like strong kind of like heavier wines. So yeah, big fan of that. I'm excited. I'll definitely give it a try when that comes online for sure.
Perfect.
And maybe I can connect you guys with some pretty gnarly winemakers in South Africa as well. Some of my friends make wine, so
we like that. Before we extend this over the hour and just jam here for the rest of the day, because it's been so much fun, we're gonna do a cheeky little giveaway for the people that have been in the chat. We got this beautiful little wild turkey bourbon, 200 mils, adorable. So I loaded up the BAXUS draw again with the 3 people that have been legendary chatters on this. Let me learn how to use technology live while talking. So we got 3 entries. We got KC, we got JSB, and we got Dick Hit. Fantastic name.
KC, what up, brother?
Let's see who's going to get the cutesy. Dick Hit shows up late and cleans it out. Casey, you get 5 stars for the level of commentary. I appreciate you for that. There you go, folks. What a fun stream. Seb, appreciate you.
What a name.
Brother.
I love that, dude. Thanks for having me, boys. Honestly, it's honestly been a blast. Very, very much looking forward to doing something with you guys. Of course, there's Irish coffee is whiskey, right?
Irish coffee is whiskey.
So there's definitely some very fun things here we can do here. I mean, I think it's also just cool to be, tell him 150 is best odds and to do 150. I don't know what Dickhead's saying, but
well, he said for the next spin, next time we get you on the vending machine, the 150.
Oh, Jay's
150 gives you.
Okay, nice. And I see JSB's in the chat as well, and KC, absolute legends. Appreciate you guys. I can see the chat, man. I'm an idiot. Over here on the right. God damn it. All right. Anyway, no, I love what you guys are doing. I think it's cool. It's very nice to be in kind of like this, real world asset, like traditional kind of, the more traditional kind of market. Taking that step out of crypto has been like really nice for me personally, and I'm sure that the same goes for you guys. But yeah, just keep crushing it, boys. Absolutely crushing it. Like so sick what you've built, and I'm excited to see BAXUS just keep growing and getting bigger and better. So shout out to you, boys.
Appreciate it, and same to you. And looking forward to, like I said, we'll definitely do some content on when I get my Raposas in, and I do some nitro Irish coffees.
Hell yes. And when I get my whiskey, I'll break the fast for a little. To be honest, I think I will. Looks
Perfect.
so damn good.
We'll do a toast.
Let's do it.
Hell yeah, Jen.
Thanks so much, Seb.
Later, boys.
Cheers.
Bye.
End stream.